Greetings, one and all, and welcome to another installment of 40K Lore. I'm the Mick, and before I dive into who we're going to be talking about today, I wanted to address something that has kind of been bugging me, though it doesn't seem to be bugging anybody else, but I did want to say it at some point in one of my videos, and that is addressing the short length of these Warhammer 40K lore videos. The primary reason that I am making these so short is because I want a very brief, succinct introduction to various factions and groups within the Warhammer 40K universe. I have spent several hours in single nights just looking at one small aspect or just a singular part of one whole faction in the Warhammer 40K universe. I'm trying to make these videos so that people get a nice, brief introduction into various chapters, factions, or just groups in general about the Warhammer 40K universe. Do I plan on making slightly longer videos? Yes, but I do want them to still be succinct and easy to follow and easy to watch. So that is due to the length of these videos, and I hope that kind of sums it up as to why these videos tend to only be 10 minutes long at most. But now, back to the lore. So today, I'm going to be covering the edgiest edgelords to ever edge, and that would be the Raven Guard. They are one of the first founding chapters of Space Marines, and were the 19th Space Marine Legion. Obviously, the Raven Guard were named after ravens, which in many cultures was an omen of death. Though all Space Marines are these heavily modified super soldiers with intense weaponry, each chapter and legion has their own little special flavor that they bring to the battlefield, little flair, if you will, and personality. The Raven Guard are obviously no exception. They primarily will employ speed and stealth in their fighting. They choose to strike at the perfect moment, catching their enemies off guard and disappearing before the enemy has a chance to gather themselves and launch a counterattack, if, that is being said, anything is left over of the enemy. Unlike the common bolter and chainsword seen on most Space Marines, the Raven Guard utilizes lightning claws when conducting their assault missions. The Primarch leading them, whose name is Corvus Corax, is described as having skin as white as ivory and eyes as black as night. Yeah, remember that whole edgelord bit? It's starting to make sense? Because it kind of should. And I mean, if you can't tell, I'm dramatically flipping my hair throughout all of this. It's in the script and everything, right up at the top. For those uninitiated into 40K, Primarchs are the heads of the Space Marine chapters, and the Space Marines under these Primarchs are basically molded after them. They're cosmic daddy, if you will. The role the Raven Guard played in the Horus heresy overall was very limited. This is due to them suffering heavy losses early on during this galaxy-spanning civil war. Eventually, even their Primarch would fall and be lost to them, but that happens a bit later. And to this day, within the 40K universe, the Raven Guard still mourn the loss of their Primarch. The Raven Guard joined what was known as the Shattered Legions, along with the Salamanders and Iron Hands during the Horus heresy. They were known as the Shattered Legions because these million-strong legions of Space Marines were decimated, and only down to a few thousand in number. Corvus was eventually able to return to the homeworld of Deliverance, which is the, again, homeworld of the Raven Guard. Once he returned here, he demanded to see all information on the production of making more Space Marines to try and restore his crippled legion. He did, however, find a way to accelerate this process, though he was warned of the consequences. Though there are no official records to remain of these failures, some, however, did say that it was horrendously mutated and disgustingly abominations that were just kind of prodded into battle by Custodes and swept under the rug and forgotten about. Due to the implementation of the Codex Astartes, the Raven Guard could only have enough Space Marines to separate into a few small chapters. The Codex Astartes making it so that there was no longer overall legions with one Primarch leading all of them and having all the power over all of these great warriors who could decimate planets with just a handful. Since their numbers, again, they were only able to separate into a small handful of chapters. These chapters being the Raptors, the Revelers, the Blackguard, and of course, the Raven Guard chapter itself. I know this video isn't as long as some of my other ones. One, the areas where I was getting my information were glitching out and not working properly for me, and I apologize for that. But if you'd like more about the Raven Guard, if you'd like more Warhammer 40K lore, or if there's a specific faction you'd like me to cover, please leave that in the comments section below. If you liked this video and you want to see more, go ahead and hit that like button to let me know that you liked it, and go ahead and subscribe so that you can get notifications for every time I upload, whether that be Warhammer 40K, Dungeons & Dragons, or any other type of nerdy or gaming things that I might upload. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you kids in the next one.